I'm Michelle Harris with Carilion EAP, and I recently brought a video about the impact of mass media on our bodies and our emotional anxiety levels. And now I want to talk about mindfulness and how that is a tool that we can use right now to really help keep ourselves in a healthy place. Mark Twain has a quote, a famous quote that he said at the end of his life, "I lived through some terrible things in my life, and some of them actually happened." And he's making the point that when our mind imagines scenarios and thinks about what ifs and thinks about the future, our body actually responds physiologically like it's actually happening. So if I'm imagining getting COVID-19, being put on a ventilator and saying goodbye to my children, my body physiologically is responding like it's actually happening. And no one needs to live through something like that more than once. So I don't want to let my mind go there and experience all the trauma and distress of something like that happening when it's not actually happening. So mindfulness is a tool that can help sort of rein in the thoughts and rein in our body's response. So essentially what mindfulness is, it's disciplining our mind and our attention to focus on the present moment by paying attention to what's coming in through our senses. So experiencing what you feel as in touch, the temperature of the air, if you're walking barefoot, the grass on your feet, what you're smelling, what you're seeing, what you're hearing. So bringing your focus and attention onto the things that are coming in through your senses. And what this does is it brings us into the present moment. And I would say most of us live most of our lives either in the past, thinking about things that have happened in the past, and where we tend to go emotionally in that is we either are sad or nostalgic, or we're thinking about the future, and then we tend towards anxiety, worrying about what might happen, how are things going to go. It's really only in the present moment that we have control over what we can do in our situation and where we can find peace. So mindfulness is a tool to bring our attention, and there's actually a lot of research that shows mindfulness is one of two things that can increase our happiness baseline. So if we have a good event that happens, we tend to have a spike of pleasure. If we have a negative event that happens, we tend to have a spike of sadness, but we always pretty much return chemically and physiologically to the same level of happiness. But mindfulness and thankfulness are two things that can actually raise our happiness baseline. So it's a really, really valuable practice for us emotionally and mentally. So as I said, you bring your thoughts into the present moment. So some examples are you could do mindful walking. You could go outside and pay attention to how it feels as your body shifts from one foot to the other. You can wash dishes mindfully. Thich Nhat Hanh, who writes a book on mindfulness, he says, when you wash dishes, just wash dishes. Feel the soap on your hand, feel the temperature of the water, notice as the dish gets clean, as you clean it, but you're fully present and focused on that. For me right now, I'm really practicing mindfulness with my children. When I'm with them, I want to be fully present with them. I want to give them all my attention. I don't want my mind to be somewhere else or be scrolling through a news feed when I could be fully present with them. So there's some tools that you can use to help guide you through some mindfulness meditations. There's some apps. One is called Calm and one is called Headspace. And they will actually just start you can start with 3 or 5 or 7 minute sort of guided meditations that help you practice mindfulness and meditation. Also, you can just practice it yourself. Anytime throughout the day, you can just take notice. Where is my attention right now? And bring it back to the present moment and notice, what am I experiencing right now? And then actually engaging and fully participating in that reality instead of letting your mind maybe going across the world to someone else's reality or going to the future to a potential reality, because that's going to cause stress that you can't do anything about. Bringing your mind into the moment can allow you to fully be present and live and experience the blessings of the life that you have now, and can reduce your stress and increase your happiness, which I think would be good for all of us these days.